What's up guys, MainManSWE here, hope you're doing awesome as always. Sorry, I just had to do that. But hey everybody, Kingpin of Tekken Online. Yeah, that's my own intro by the way. So today we're making the review video for the main man tier list, difficult tier list actually. His streams a few days ago, he made a tier list, which for some reason he decided not to post on his YouTube channel, even though I think this was a pretty interesting discussion. I really love when the main man makes tier lists, because this creates really interesting, conversations, discussions, and yeah, it's always interesting to see what he says and how his perspective and opinion changes about different characters throughout the time, so that's pretty cool. But I mean, I just went for his VODs on Twitch, I screen recorded, the whole tier list, just to see what he says. I mean, I made it private here, as you can see, just for the purpose of this video, and this video is going to be deleted. So I just want to discuss, characters who I have the most of understanding about, knowledge and experience, and, practical experience, etc. I'm not going to go through every character because I'm going to be honest, I just don't have as much, frame data information or knowledge or overall knowledge about every single character. And besides, this video that I recorded was like 1 hour long. So I'm not going to go through all this. I just going to check the characters that I personally like and play or used to play. And something interesting that we're going to do today, this is not his first difficulty tier list. He made another difficulty tier list. I'm going to show it. It was around 10 months ago. I mean, pretty much at the beginning of Tekken. So he made another difficulty tier list. So I'm going to check first what he says about Yoshi and Law. And just going to see what he said before. And we're going to, sum this up together. And yeah, let's see.
I didn't like that. Don't forget Yoshi. Yeah, but Yoshi to me was never that difficult. Yoshi mains would say, oh, you need to be a fucking savant. You need to be a man, dusting off man, counting the toothpicks. That's what you need to play Yoshi. And I was like, no, fuck you. You just spam flash and an unblockable sword sweep. Shut the fuck up. So to me, the reality of Yoshi was always like, intermediate, and in this game, easy. That's it. I don't think his fall was that big. Yeah. But okay, that's my difficulty tier list. And
it's funny how he closes up the tier list with the Yoshi, with the Yoshi discussion. But that's interesting. Let's see what he said before, though. Because before he also gave a pretty detailed explanation about Yoshi. And let's see where does he consider this character to be in the difficult tier list? Let's see.
Yoshi.
Let's see. Think, Mayman, think.
Yeah, Yoshi is difficult.
Right? Let's see. How's that? Let's see what he has to say about that.
Yoshi Schmeitsu.
Yes, yes, sir. Let's see.
So yeah, a lot of people think Yoshi is brain dead now. They think it's basically do 2-2 into this. So 2-2 flash. Down for the 1-2, down back 2 flash. But I think a lot of it has to do with unfamiliarity with the matchup. And don't get me wrong, this guy can cheese you so fucking hard. Like, I get annoyed at Yoshi. You tech roll into this. You tech roll mindlessly and he does this. And then he runs up and you tech roll again and he does this. But in the end, isn't that just you being a complete fucking moronic idiot? Isn't that me being an idiot? When I eat this, he does this, and then I mindlessly tech roll, and I eat that again. Isn't that me being a dumbass? Or when you guys, when he does 2-2, 2-2, it's just the dumbest flowchart. 2-2, his second hit is so easily duckable. This is so slow. 3-1, duck, you can duck this.
Yep, exactly.
Duck.
But people don't know that. People just respect it.
We just have to acknowledge that we're unfamiliar with Yoshi because he's never been as popular as he is right now. So suddenly everyone is exposed exposed to this and Flash for what feels like the first time. He's never been very popular.
Yeah, that's true.
But
That's
the
true.
thing is, like, all of these easy setups, they're kind of trash. It's always mid
High,
or
high. Yep. Yep.
Mid high.
Yep.
Mid high.
Yep.
Mid high. It's so much of this is fake pressure, to be honest.
Exactly.
Because you just
Exactly.
don't know the matchup. And that's on us. That's on us. Or mindlessly tech rolling this. That's on us. It's just like that advice I used to give for Kazuya. It's the same for him. Don't tech roll against him. You're so used to mindlessly mashing all the buttons when you're getting juggled.
I disagree. Actually, you like when he has you at the wall. Let's say you get launched with Yoshi. He does the combo with a pretty good wall carry. So you're at the wall. He, finishes his combo, and then when you're on the ground and he is like standing next to you, like watching like that, like watching. Okay, so what you gonna do? Like you absolutely have to tech roll, but don't get up. So you have to tech roll, but don't get up. And the reason is because the sword sweep, it doesn't hit grounded if you're, like if you're just tech rolling, if you're, like it doesn't hit you, it doesn't launch you. And you might think like, okay, what about the 4-1+2? Well, if you tech roll and he does the 4-1+2 when you're grounded, there's a very high chance it's not going to hit. There's a very high chance it's not going to hit, first of all. Second of all, even if you have been hit with a forward 1+2, then you get up and you're like, okay, probably now it's gonna be the sword sweep. You can do the hop kick. You can do the mid check, because the sword sweep, people exaggerate the spamminess, or I mean not the spamminess, but the efficiency of the sword sweep way too much. Let me remind you that the sword sweep is counterplayable with a single backdash, side step to either side, hop kick, mid check. So. Also, let me remind you that the hit effect, I'm not trying to downplay Yoshi. He's one of the strongest characters. Sword sweep, very effective move. But there's a lot of counterplay to sword sweep. His hit effect starts prematurely prior to the hit. So as soon as he starts the animation, then this is when the hit, like normally when you hit the opponent, this is when the hit effect comes out. But when he does the sword sweep, the game is kind of signaling you from all the, and with all the ways possible, like, dude, wake up, the sword sweep incoming. Like there are like the heat effects all over him, like showing you like, get ready, do something about this, like hop kick, mid check, I don't know, side step, backdash, do something. But people are like, I mean, if you're standing there still not reacting to stuff, I mean, isn't that a you problem? Isn't that you I mean, again, don't get me wrong, his wall pressure is probably one of the best, but is there no counterplay? I don't think so. I get counterplayed with really competitive players, including Brian players, when I play against them as a Yoshi. When I have them at the wall, they know what I'm doing. They know that as soon as I do the wall, the wall combo, of course I would go for the reset. So they're just standing still there, like on the ground, and they're like, okay, so what you gonna do? Because you can also you cannot infinitely stand in front of your opponent as a Yoshi, not making any call. So you have to sort of commit to something, whether it's gonna be the helicopter where he's like, so when he does the helicopter, which doesn't hit grounded, by the way, just a reminder, you can just stay down, toe kick, and you can sort of already retake your turn and be like, okay, so that's my time. On the other hand, there is Flash. Of course, Flash, very strong move, has, like everybody has been discussing this. Flash is a very, very effective move, but let me remind you that there is also another side of the coin where Flash is a launch punishable move. It's duckable when in normal stand. When in NSS, yes, that's a middle launcher, still launch punishable, and it also doesn't. One thing I'm not sure is about the tracking, but it is launch punishable. So like one as a Yoshi player cannot just be spamming this like, okay, flash, flash, flash. So like bad Yoshi player for spamming flash will get launch punished. So this is the thing about Yoshi, like Yoshi requires a unique approach which combines, like requirement of patience, where you're not just, like mashing into Yoshi the whole time, and when you're not respecting him, respecting all his strings. as the main man said, 3-1 dockable, back 2-2 dockable. Many moves that he has, like for example, down forward 1-2 into spin, like also down forward 1-2 is also dockable. But people don't know about that. People just stand there still, like, you know, just standing like, I don't know, turtles, and just expect the magic to happen. But you actually have to be familiar with the matchup, and you have to understand, like, okay, so this is dockable, I need to dock and punish. Of course, it's a very high level of execution, or like rather the matchup knowledge. But is it possible? Yes, it is. It's, you know, like, it's also the same example that, you know, okay, I'm gonna finish what he has to say, then I'm gonna, you know, continue, because I haven't finished even. Okay, let's say.
Against this character. So what makes Yoshi difficult? Yoshi is a setup-based, pretty creative character where he has so many specialized tools where the Yoshi player has to adapt to whatever it is you're doing.
Exactly.
You can do the Kane and Trench.
That's what I just said, by the way.
Fundamental. Like, I mean, Kane and Trench is just like 1-1 all day long, seeing what you're doing, take a poke, read that you're gonna duck, launch you, into the occasional Yoshi shenanigans, but mostly he's just very smart in how he uses Flash.
Yep.
And again, you can say this is a very strong EXDP, but any Yoshi with half a brain is not going to be an idiot about it. It's gonna be some.
I mean, here I kind of disagree. I see a lot of Yoshi players who just smash. They just mash Flash. They just mash and spam Flash in the stupidest way possible, which is why people think that Yoshi is stupid and is easy. But I mean, again, there are both sides to the coin.
Thing the Yoshi player uses once in a while.
So Flash is very spammy. I agree. I agree with that.
It is true that here, Brian on paper gets a mix-up after Hatchet, but not against Yoshi. But any smart Brian player is gonna wait here. Again, any smart Brian against Yoshi is not gonna take his frames on the Hatchet because he knows about this. So of course, if you're just mashing mindlessly against Yoshi, he blows you up.
Exactly.
But a smart Brian is going to do this. He's going to do this and then wait. And if he sees that twitch, kablam. Like, I'm not saying it's easy to do. I'm just saying that Yoshi players against good players, you need a brain, to say the least, to use all of these tools. And again, the smart Brian or player is not gonna mindlessly tech roll. You're gonna fall to the ground and stay on the ground and see what the Yoshi player does.
Yep.
And now Yoshi has to adapt. Okay, stayed on the ground. You can try and set up this. You can try and swipe you on the ground.
Forward 1+2. Helicopter.
But in the end, I just don't see Yoshi being an easy character at all. On the contrary, I see Yoshi players have to look at a pretty vast move list and understand what every single tool in that move list does and how to apply it. That's what I think. I think he's, in the end, he's a specialist character.
I also disagree with this, by the way. I'm gonna say this in a second.
Drooling moronic Yoshis that are now bum rolling your bunghole, just bending you over, just doing the dumbest flowcharts in ranked, and they're getting a ton of points because you're not used to seeing Yoshi a lot. But that's on you, and that's on me. We are the morons. Why are you mindlessly tech rolling? Why do you hit him with a hatchet and go, my frames, my turn? Well, he has a flash. Do we have to eat flash 1,000 times before we start realizing, maybe I shouldn't take my frames? So no, he's a difficult character.
I mean, I also disagree with this. I think like there are two extremities that the main man is giving here. One where he says he's super easy. The second one where he says he's I don't know, like specialist, difficult, super difficult character. I mean, not super. He says difficult. So like very easy, specialist, difficulty. I think I would say it's somewhere over here actually, somewhere in the middle, which would be intermediate. I can explain why. So look at this roster. Imagine you are a beginner player. You have not played a single Tekken before. You just, you know, you pay for Tekken 8. You open the roster. you watch at this roster, you look at this roster, and what are the chances that you are gonna pick Yoshi over someone like, I don't know, let's say Victor, Alyssa, Kuma Panda, Lars, Leroy, Azucena, June. And most of them have like, I don't know, let's say 100 moves, 90 moves, a little bit over 100 moves. In comparison to Yoshi, who has like 200 moves, many of his moves, they have a different, different utilities. His upstanding, while standing 4 has, like at least 2 different utilities. While when he does the while standing 4 and you press backward, then he goes into NSS. Or if you do the while standing 4 and press 1+2, he goes into Kincho. So one move alone has already like 2 different utilizations, and this is just one example out of so many different ones. So as a Yoshi player, you still, I mean, as a player who just wants to learn Yoshi, you still have to spend a considerable amount of time at least familiarizing yourself with the move list, seeing what every move does, what every move offers you utilization-wise, like what kind of mix-ups can you do with every single move. It takes a lot of time. Trust me, I'm not trying to downplay Yoshi or say like, or give some extra false praise. I'm just actually telling you that like, I always thought that Yoshi move list is some of the most complex ones because you just have to sit there and you have to be like, okay, so this does that, this does that. Okay, so this move you can go, you can go into this stance, you can go into that stance. And I kid you not, I spent about an hour just trying to remember the moves, like while watching the move list. And the move list back then and even now, it still looks quite confusing to me. I mean, not confusing, but difficult, because you just have to remember so many different things. And it's always like when you see a character with so many different moves and utilizations to every single move, it always elevates the character a little bit in the tier list, in my opinion. At least because there are so many things you have to familiarize. So there is a lot of things you need to familiarize, and I think this definitely elevates Yoshi. And same with King, by the way. I hate King, though, but King also has like 200 plus moves, I think. People play King like, I don't know, in the scrubbiest way possible, but King still, on a high level play, he requires a very thorough knowledge of, of different grabs, of different grab combos, and etc. And also the thing I don't really appreciate, I mean, not like I don't appreciate, but it's just I kind of disagree with what the main man says, that, people don't know what you're doing, which is what he says in this newer video when he was talking also about, characters like Eddie and Lars, that, people don't know what you're doing, and because of that, this makes the character much easier. I mean, it's like, if somebody doesn't know specific character move list or like, counterplay, isn't that a, does it really invalidate the skill ceiling for a character? You know what I mean? If you came to a chemistry exam unprepared and you don't know the answers to the questions because you haven't done your homework, is it the exam being stupid and easy, or is it just you being an, lazy, just a lazy person, not familiarizing yourself with the matchup or like the test exam questions and stuff? So it's like, if people knew how many strings are dockable and none requiring to, to respect them, they would have a much easier time against Yoshi. Again, as the main man himself said in the previous video, many of his strings are dockable and punishable. Also, Flash is dockable. I mean, the normal Flash, not NSS, but normal Flash is dockable, and you can also like, backdash and punish the Flash if it's just been mashed out like crazy. I mean, Flash is a very, very strong move. It's a very, very strong move, but it's very easily punishable. And it's also like, I also have the easiest time against players like Dragunov or Law or, let's say, or Jin, for example, because they mash into you the whole time. They just want to, they just want to mash you to death. But this is when Yoshi's like, I like that, let's go, I have the Flash. So Law is just trying to, for example, do the DSS transitions and, like do different while standing mix-ups into DSS, and I'm like, yeah, go for it. Flash, flash, and it's just like, if you're mindlessly pressing into me, of course I'm gonna flash you. Me having the 7 startup frame launcher, I mean, why would I not use that? And that I have that move, so why do you press into me the whole time? So like what I mean? if you keep pressing it to me, just like the main man said, like, isn't that a you problem? If you don't know the strings that I'm doing, isn't that a you problem? No, certain things with Yoshi, they definitely do need a nerf, such as combo damage, chip damage, health recovery from certain moves. NSS 1-1, health recovery should be nerfed for sure. His Kincho guard break unavoidability, if that's the word, should be, also removed. Should be removed. So people should be able to tech roll and avoid the Kincho guard break combo reset with Yoshi. So these kind of things, but honestly, I don't even know how to nerf things like Flash. Make it, I don't know, minus... I mean, it's already launch punishable. Make it a slower move. I mean, I don't think it's going to really help or do anything. You just have to... It's like with Yoshi, what I've been saying with many other players who come to my stream, it's like you cannot play in the same way against every single character in Tekken 8. So every character requires own approach. And it's like the main man said before in one of his other videos, like when you play Tekken versus someone, you play against the character and the player, so you have like two fights. And when you play against Yoshi, like there are so many different Yoshi styles. One where it's like you're just sitting in your turtle flash state when you're just like not taking any risks, and the other one where you just drop out those strings and stance transitions, stance rush downs, and etc. And it's like you just have to see what Yoshi does. If you see them pressing flash way too much, maybe you should take a note about that. If you see that they're using a lot of different strings and stance transitions, maybe you should see that, for example, hey, 3-1 is actually 3-1 is actually dockable, or back 2-2 is actually dockable as well. Maybe you should do something about that. You just think about these kind of things when you complain about Yoshi. But I still don't think he's very easy. Also, here he says he's like the first character, or like the easiest character in the easy tier list. And I don't agree with that. If he wants to say that Yoshi is very easy because of the tools that he has and brokenness that he is right now, I would have at least put him somewhere between Jin and Dragunov, perhaps. I think Jin is probably even more broken than Yoshi. Probably it's a long topic which I'm not gonna get into, but at least he could have put him somewhere over here. And he thinks that Clive is smarter than... I mean, I guess he put them in order, so like they go in order, so that like the one that goes before the character is kind of easier. So I disagree, and I'm not saying this as a Yoshi fan or Yoshi player. I'm just saying this objectively. I do think he's a very strong character, but I disagree that he is this easy. I don't think so. I don't think... I mean, Clive is a super beginner-friendly character, same as Asuka, as the main man said in this video. But is Yoshi much easier than them? I completely don't think so. Especially Leroy, who has like, I don't know, 100 moves, has like one stance hermit. And I don't think Yoshi is this easy in my opinion. I think he definitely exaggerates the situation here. I think Yoshi should be at least somewhere here. At least. I'm not saying intermediate, even though this is where I would have put him. Because just nerf his damage and he's going to be significantly weaker than he is. So I think he belongs somewhere over here between Jin and Dragunov, but not before Leroy and Asuka and Clive. Definitely not. I mean, this kind of tells me that he is very close to brain dead, based on the fact that he is the first one in easy tier list. I mean, I disagree with that. Objectively, I don't think this is true. And again, just put yourself in the beginner player shoes. Like, are you gonna pick this? Expulsion, or this? Yes, flash. But at least flash is launch punishable. Again, I just want to keep both sides of the coin on the visibility, because people just say how strong flash is, but people don't mention how also, how risky this move is. So yeah. But this was about Yoshi. Good. Let's go about Law. I want to see what he says about Law, because Law is another character which I really like and appreciate, and I spend a considerable time with Law as well. So let's see.
An advanced character to play. He is advanced.
Okay, wait.
People play her. 10 of them, they actually... And it's interesting, so I'm gonna put her in intermediate.
Okay, let's see.
This one is interesting. Let's see. Law in Tekken 7 is probably at the top of advanced.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
He is literally at the top of this pile.
I learned Law from Tekken 7, and this was a nightmare. His DSS was so difficult to learn, like the timing wise.
He's not in super hard, but wow, he is an advanced character to play. He is advanced. And with Tekken 8, oh my god, we have to go Bagoosh. But the question is, do we goosh again? Do we goosh again?
No, I don't think so.
Think a bit about.
I mean, to say that Law is in the same tier list with Alyssa, this is just, I mean, I'm sorry, but this is a bit of exaggeration. I think I would have put him where Yoshi is right now. Perhaps. I think with certain characters, he goes a little bit exaggerate. So I think I would have put him in easy, but like somewhere in the beginner of easy tier list. Easy as brain dead. I mean, I don't like that word, but that's what the word they use. Easy as brain dead as Alyssa or Panda or Kuma. I don't think so. I mean, I'm trying not to be biased, but I just don't think he's this easy. The DSS, if you use it in the old way, you know, in the original way, back forward or back forward, forward, you know, the classic DSS input, I think this makes him still easy. But I just disagree also with the fact that DSS is now simplified in terms of that you can just hold forward. I mean, this is just a slap on my face because I have spent so much time learning the DSS in Tekken 7. Well, whatever. Still, even though I still don't think he is this easy, you know, his pressure still needs to be learned. You need to understand, like, how do you pressure your opponent and what with. You know, like, his wild standing moves are really good. His slide is really good. But is he as easy or as broken as those characters here? I don't think so, personally. I think he belongs here.
But is he easy?
But we're gonna revisit the old video.
Or is he brain dead? He might be fucking brain dead. He might be completely fucking
Nah, I think this is a bit...
God, is he easy or is he brain dead? I need chat to help me out. Erika, can a mod make a poll? I need to ask the audience. I need to use my lifeline. Yeah, who wants to be a lawyer? I need a lifeline, guys.
Okay, let me see. I mean, the chat is gonna say, brain dead. Yeah, I mean...
Start a poll. I've yet to see a low player block in Tekken 8. And I'm not exaggerating.
Remove the easy DSS fixed.
Yet to see a low player ever fucking block because everything he does is fucking plus.
It's just many characters in this game. If Yoshi and Law, they're like one small nerf away from, you know, just boom in the tier list. Just like many characters, they're like so easy to descend in the tier list with just one small change like that.
Let's see. Mash jab strings, mash down for 2, mash flips, mash down 2-3.
Flips are unsafe, I think.
Throw, mash power crush forward 3. Oh, and spam to death that fucking I'm a dragon that throw, which I can't break because
I mean the break window is so big for that. Like even when animation commits, like, you know, I forgot the input, to be honest. It's just I have the muscle memory like when I play the game. But when he does this I'm a dragon grab where he kind of you know, puts his knee a bit up, you know, to step on your knee, you know, like that's how the animation starts. If you react in time, like even after the animation commits, you can still break it. So the break window is so big that you just, I mean, I don't want to say like get good, but it's like if you just, you know, prepare yourself and, you know, keep yourself ready for this grab, like, I mean, is it really that hard?
He's doing when he does the startup. I can tell the animation. The dumbest heat in the game. Nunchuck. 1-1-1. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what is the case for putting him in easy? You know why I'm gonna put him in brain dead? You know why I'm gonna do it? Ask me why.
Tell me.
But I've decided now. Do you know why he belongs here? It's not only because
Slide.
in Tekken 8 is he not even intermediate anymore in his design, his game design. He's designed to be easy, but it's a case of Alyssa, in my opinion, that when you factor in how objectively broken his hitboxes and frames are, and his properties, and his heat, he's brain dead. I think so. Yep. I think so. Let's see. Shaheen.
Okay, let's see the old video. I just want to see what he has to say about, about Law in the old video. I just want to see that.
Law. Law.
That's an interesting one.
Fuck.
I mean, Law combo damage is definitely one of the strongest ones in this game. Definitely his heat is very strong. His 1-1-1 is very strong. Then his DSS simplified also makes him very easy to use. I still don't understand why developers went for the easy DSS. Just forward, press forward, and like the DSS commits itself. And I'm just like, so I mean, it's the same thing as if the electric has been simplified. Oh, just press the down forward to, like instead of, like all this, forward, neutral, down forward, like instead of all this, just, press down forward to, and there's your electric. It's kind of the same thing. I feel like Law players have been extremely disrespected in this game. But, yeah, let's see.
Easy. Law is easy. It's probably not very easy, but he's easy.
Yeah, here he puts him exactly where I said he should be at. And let me remind you that both Law and Yoshimitsu are significantly stronger at the time when the main man was making this old video. Yeah. Law combo damage was even stronger, even higher, like the combo damage scaling was lower. The Yoshimitsu still had like multiple flash, possibilities. He could do multiple flashes before. Now it's limited to like 4 or 5. No, even 3, 4, I think, in the combo. So yeah, it's, yeah.
Let's see, where's my boy Law? So Law enjoys a very buffed 50-50 in this game, with slide into nunchuck, super good. Low parry was nerfed, which is super good for this low. It's a really strong low. This is also a really strong low. His counter hit utility is rebarded. It's so fucking good. He's a better counter hit character than Steve. Steve is not the counter hitting Paragon. Low is better. Dragon Hammer remains endlessly fucking spammable at plus.
Honestly, I was never able to spam the Dragon Hammer. Like it still is a good counter hit launcher move, good for pressure, but like, is it really as spammy as he says it is? 20 startup frames. I mean, players like Leroy or Lars, they always jab me out of that. Maybe I was just bad with placing the Dragon Hammer. I don't know.
Free counter hit launcher. Now you'll do.
I got the Tekken King with Law though.
Like all laws, they all do this. Bam. What is happening? Bam, bam, and now everyone has access to that DSS, right? Oh wow, am I an idiot?
Yeah, see, like, it's not really as easy as he says. Like, you still need to have a pretty good pressure consistency, like the rhythm of the moves, and like, even he messes it up. I mean, I'm not saying he's bad, I'm just saying it's not as easy as he says.
Everyone can do perfect DSS.
Maybe it's very easy for him, but not really for average level of play.
Hold forward and we get these sick DSS transitions.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that.
On a hit, I get plus 60. You had to work really hard for this in Tekken 7.
Yep.
Here, no such work. So everyone enjoys God Law now, which is uninterruptible pressure, just constantly. Uninterruptible pressure, so that has made him significantly easier. This is a character that was difficult in Tekken 7.
Yeah, it was very difficult. Very difficult.
You have us very spammable, down for 2, back 3 super spammable, 14 frame, long reach, blah blah blah. You have a launching throw, which is going to help you a lot.
But wasn't that the case in Tekken 7? I think Law also had this in Tekken 7.
In this game,
Launching throw.
considering the buffs to throws. And again, this one is funny. Like that counter it while
Dockable.
Oh, sorry. If you have some timing here. You see this combos. That's from an 11 frame counter, by the way. 11 frames. And then his G clef is fucking insane. Like fucking insane. He does 1-1 like this. And then he Twitch confirms on your ass. Like, I confirm this. And again, I suck. So I just do this. So, I just got...
Hey, that's a strong one. That's a strong one.
Ass, right? But if I'm already in heat, now you're never gonna press against low because it's basically Heihachi Rage Drive all over again. But hit confirmable. So we do pop, pop, pop. And you're low. And it's pretty good with 10 frame startup.
Yeah, I mean, I got the idea what he means. Yeah, I mean, this makes slow pretty easy, especially with a simplified DSS. He has a lot of different strong moves, strong utilities, you know, like his 1-1-1, as he said. Yeah, basically, yeah, I say he's definitely easy. Not as easy as I would say the main man says, because again, like when you open the roster, just, you know, like when you say someone is very easy, just put it to perspective. Like, what are the chances that someone will go for low over Alice, Kuma, Panda, Victor, Clive? You know, just think about this. You know, like what are the chances? Because low still needs a lot of. I mean, you still need to understand how DSS works as a mechanic. You still need to understand how it works. Like how do you apply this for the pressure? You know, you have to be very good with while standing utilization, which takes some skill still. You know, like whether you like it or not. But I do agree that he is much easier in Tekken 100%, but easy as Brain Dead, or just easy as easy, you know. So kind of debatable. I would have put him where Yoshi is if I was the main man. Can we just, you know, like get this main man from the past into our timeline and have those two main mans debate, please? That would have been fun. But I'm also quite interested that Eddie is here. Let me see what he says about Eddie.
He starts dancing and it never ends. And he just does tornadoes of bullshit. And most people just don't know the matchup. And it's one of those characters where piss easy to play.
All right, yeah. I've seen, like when I was skimming through this video before, I also mentioned that like multiple times with characters like I think Raven and Eddie and I think Lars as well. He mentioned this multiple times that people don't know what you're doing. But again, this is what I said before. Like, you know, it's the same thing. I have no expertise in football as a sport, and I'm just sitting here. I'm like, I think football is very easy. Because, I mean, if you just look at the screen, people running around the football field, you know, just kicking that ball. It looks very easy, so I think it's easy, even though I don't know how to play football. I'm gonna go to YouTube, I'm gonna learn a few tricks about football, I'm gonna challenge the local neighborhood kids, I'm gonna beat them, and here we go, I'm the, you know, king of the neighborhood in football. But I don't even think about, like, how is it really when I go into a higher level of football, where Messi and Ronaldo is, you know, like you know what I mean? So unfamiliarity of the people with certain character matchups, I don't think this really invalidates the difficulty ceiling, you know, or the skill ceiling of the character. I think it's just people problem that people don't know how to play against this character. I mean, I'm not talking about 80, but just overall, I think this is a bit skewed judgment about, you know, character difficulty judgment. So yeah, it mostly applies to Yoshi in my case. But I mean, I'm not referring to Eddie or any other characters with stance rush downs or string rush downs. But just because people don't know how, like, what is the matchup, it doesn't make the character very easy. Because, you know, when you consider high level of play with people like who have like real skill, it's not really as easy as if you go to, you know, back to red or purple ranks and you just, you know, like you spam your different strings and different stance rush downs. So it's not as easy, you know, as over there. So it's like when you talk about character difficulty, in my opinion, you should also consider the high level of play, which is Bossen and I mean, not actually Bossen, but Fujin forward, and from you know, beginner until purple ranks. So I think you know, it's like at least that's the way I see ranked. I think everything to purple is sort of one end, and after you hit Fujin, this is the other end with, you know, like more advanced level of players. So it's like you have to consider both sides, not just one side. Like, oh, you can go to purple ranks, just by using stance rushdowns and strings, and this makes the character easy. But when you go to Fujin or Tekken King, the fun is over. You just have to use your actual skills to, you know, confuse your opponents, to use different setups. It also applies with Yoshi. Like, you just have to be like really creative, and you have to be like really good. But those were my 5 cents about Yoshi, about Law, and overall, again, as I said from the beginning, I'm not gonna do like a full breakdown on every single character because I don't really have as much knowledge about all the characters as about Law and Yoshi. So I just wanted to give my 5 cents about these two characters because I have the most understanding about those two characters. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and yeah, this was just a comparison of the two perspectives of the main man from the past and the main man from the present. So that was interesting. That was interesting how his opinion changed about those two characters. Well, thanks everybody, and see you on the next one.